The slag pile behind the old Rivers Avenue mill still steamed in winter like a tired animal, the way it did the night the foreman pressed Frank Delaney's last time card into his palm. Pittsburgh air has its own taste, rain-soaked iron and burnt sugar, and once it lives in the lungs, it never fully leaves. At 68, Frank still walked those blocks at 6 a.m., thermos in the left hand out of habit, knuckles banded with pale burns that refuse to fade. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you're listening from in the comments. It helps more than you think. "Dad, it's really simple paperwork," Kyle said, thumb dancing across a phone, smile easy as a brochure. "You sign, I handle the refinance, you get cash in hand, no headaches, no tenants calling at midnight." The Duplex kitchen wore 2 coffee rings and a map of Southside taped under a salt shaker. Upstairs, oatmeal and Motown. Downstairs, the radio whispered Pirates preseason between weather reports. "Refinance forms," Frank repeated, nudging his glasses higher. "Strange refinance that asks if I can feed myself and remember the date." His voice stayed level, steel at low heat. He touched the footer the way he used to test billet temperature, truth by feel. "Guardianship petition, temporary conservator, authorizes agent to manage real property." The word sat like oil on water. Kyle laughed the way men laugh when they're too quick to hear themselves. "It's lender language, Dad. Banks need someone around if you misplace a bill, protects you. Market's cooling. Duplexes are dead weight unless you scale. I can consolidate, roll equity, kill the furnace burden." His cologne smelled like cedar and new car plastic. His eyes slid past a black and white on the wall. Frank at 24, hard hat tilted, smiling under a ladle glow like it was junk mail. "Scale," Frank said. "Hell of a word to bring into a house built one stair at a time." He sipped yesterday's tea, reheated, left the metal tang on his tongue until memory rose. Third turn in the caster, 1,200 degrees at the pour. The long quiet after a shift when men didn't need to talk to be heard. "Let me take the load," Kyle pressed, tapping signature flags. "I've got a buyer on deck." His screen flashed a notification he didn't hide fast enough. "Balloon, PMT, Friday." 3 words lingered before the glass went black. "Oak Hollow Syndicate." "Let me read," Frank said, not raising his voice, real slow, like it matters. He opened a drawer and pulled a spiral notebook, cheap with a spine bend, pages ruled by a machinist's patience. At the top of the first page, January. Calls. He dated a fresh line, 8:12 a.m. Kyle arrives. Says refinance. Document. Guardianship petition. Mentions market cooling and buyer on deck. Phone alert. Oak Hollow Syndicate. Balloon payment Friday. "You keeping score?" Kyle joked. "Old habits, I get it." He reached for the packet. Frank set 2 fingers on the corner and did not let it slide. Upstairs, Ms. Alvarez stepped out for her first smoke, the back door squeaking in a way Frank had never fixed on purpose. Sound traveled, and sound told truth when mouths didn't. "Old habit kept furnaces from blowing," Frank said. "Old habit paid your braces when you hated your smile." He carried the papers to the sink. He didn't dunk them, just set them where light was honest and edges visible. "You hungry? Oatmeal upstairs beats money." It might have been a joke. It wasn't. "Trust me, okay?" Kyle's tone softened. Professional, melting to filial. He touched Frank's forearm and felt the rope of tendon under skin. Understood, maybe for the first time, those arms were that size because they'd lifted more than words. "We'll talk Saturday," Frank said. "Bring a clean packet, one that says refinance and nothing else. If it ain't clean, don't bring it. He walked his son to the porch, where a chipped brick shaped like Ohio mapped years he refused to smooth over. When Kyle's tires squealed, too quick for February, Frank's chest tightened in a way that had nothing to do with arteries. He let the quiet settle back like dust after a pour, flipped the notebook open, and wrote 20 minutes of small, load-bearing words. Then he dialed a number thumbtacked inside a cabinet. Paper yellowed soft. Local 1219, retiree's desk. Union assistants, May speaking. The voice was strong as 10 good minutes between heats. Frank Delaney? Heard you finally let that knee win. What can we do? Need to find Lenny Stavos, Frank said. He put the gavel down when I put the ladle down. Someone said he's at Garver and Klein now, scribbling Latin for folks getting run over in slow motion. May hummed. Lenny'll take your call. You still on Carson? He said yes. She lowered her voice. Bring the papers. Don't sign a thing. And Frank? Yeah. You still got that spine. Use it. Frank turned the radio down until the ball game became the ghosts of vowels. He read the packet like gauges. 3 passes. Pause between. Let the hidden rise. Conservator may encumber property to satisfy outstanding encumbrances. Authorized to negotiate lien subordination. He didn't need Latin to smell what was burning. Someone lit a fuse and called it a candle. He pulled a shoebox that wasn't for shoes. Kyle at 8, with a gap-toothed grin, a crayoned furnace that looked like a battleship, a 1987 Union clipping, Safety Award F. Delaney, double underlined. He set the box beside the notebook. Dignity is a ledger, he thought. Folks mistake it for a speech. At noon, wool coat buttoned, notebook inside pocket, packet in a brown envelope, he knocked on Ms. Alvarez's door and raised a paper bag. Spare pierogi? You always with the trades, Mr. Frank? She poured him oatmeal that tasted like cinnamon and rent paid on time. Your boy was here early, she said gently. Yeah, Frank said. He let steam wash his knuckles. He brought paperwork. He left pierogi and 2 stamps. Stamps get expensive when heat does, and stepped into the cold. The river held the color of old pennies. Inside Garver and Klein, the receptionist smiled the way people in warm rooms smile at men who know cold. Mr. Delaney, Len's waiting. The paneled office looked like permanence to people who never sweat. Lenny hugged him like a man who once yanked him off a catwalk by the belt when the railing gave. Jesus, Frankie, I got depositions scarier than a ladle spill, and you bring me a notebook. Tell me you've been writing. Kid says refinance, Frank said, handing the envelope. Paper says I'm a child. He sat straight, hands folded, as if bidding a heat. He laid out every call, phrase, the alert, the buyer on deck, the way morning light caught a word that didn't belong in a son's mouth. Lenny listened, letting words cool until they could be handled. Conservatorship disguised as convenience, Lenny said at last. Common as rain when a project's upside down and a boy thinks he can plug a hole with his father's house. He flipped to the signature page and almost smiled. No notary, no witness, sloppy, pride before paperwork. Whoever fed him this figured you'd sign before lunch. He leaned back. You didn't. Frank shook his head. This notebook is gold, Lenny said. Dates, times, phrases. We'll build a wall out of it and make him use the door. We run title to the studs. Check the county index for surprise filings. Record a notice of non-consent on any guardianship move. Put your medical power of attorney on file so no one runs a capacity play. Draft a letter. All comms in writing. Proposals list encumbrances. Agents disclose conflicts. Then we wait, and we document every ring of the bell. "You'll send a bill," Frank said. "You bought me a beer in '92 when I lost mine in the river." Lenny grinned. "We'll start there. And Frankie? Dignity ain't volume. It's pace. Make him match yours." On Carson, afternoon light struck the mill stack like a hymn no one bothered to print. Frank bought stamps and a legal pad. The spiral would run out. At home, he drew columns. Ms. Alvarez, Prietos in 1B, Pastor Green, May, Dr. S. lines between them like rigging, angles checked, weights known. At 6, the phone rang. Private number. Frank let it ring twice. "Delaney," he said, voice like a beam set down steady. "You went to a lawyer?" Kyle asked, accusation baked in. Behind him, a door, a lower male voice, the word syndicate hissed like snow on hot iron. "I went to a friend," Frank said. "Keeps a different kind of torch now." He slid the notebook closer. "From now on, we write. You want to help? List the liens. Bring names. Bring truth. Saturday if it's clean. If not, Sunday. Sundays for rest." Silence. Then the performance clicked back on. "You're making this adversarial, Dad. I'm solving a problem you can't see." "I see it fine." Frank looked at his younger self under ladle glow and didn't feel young so much as consistent. "Good night, son." He set the receiver down with the care he used to return hot tools to their hooks. He opened the back door to February and let the cold seize the kitchen until ache sharpened into ownership. Upstairs, Ms. Alvarez laughed at something on the radio. Downstairs, the pipes banged twice like an old friend knocking. The duplex settled around him, boards remembering every foot that ever crossed them. On the table, a clean page. Frank boxed one line in a draftsman's hand. "Tomorrow. Title. Record. Call May. Call tenants. Keep pace. Keep heat low." He turned the key twice, as always, and let the house speak for him, even calm, with that quiet dignity that endures fire and asks for no witnesses. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.